What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this, I want to break down what's happening with the overall market as we're seeing a big rejection on Tesla, SPY, and the others. Just know that I am not a financial planner. So the market was holding up very nicely. Tesla was pushing to our 440 targets. SPY was at all-time highs as well. And then all of a sudden, we got this massive rug pull. Let me show you the 5-minute time frame. This rug pull came out of nowhere after President Trump said something very important on his Truth Social page. But once again, SPY was hovering at all-time highs. Then we just got this rug pull after President Trump said something. Tesla, same thing. We were pushing at 440. Then we got this massive rug pull. What's going on? What did President Trump just say? So President Trump put on his Truth Social page that some very strange things are happening in China. They're becoming very hostile and sending letters to countries throughout the world that they want to impose export controls on each and every element of production having to do with rare earths and virtually anything else they could think of, even if it's not manufactured in China. Now, let me just clarify. I'm not saying President Trump is right or wrong. I'm just saying that this is what he's saying because it's affecting the markets. And I'm trying to be unbiased when doing so. Nobody has ever seen anything like this, but essentially it would clog the markets and make life difficult for virtually every country in the world, especially for China. We have been contacted by other countries who are extremely angry at this great trade hostility, which came out of nowhere. He said our relationship with China over the past 6 months has been a good one, thereby making this move on trade an even more surprising one. He always felt that they've been lying in wait, and now, as usual, he claims he's been proven right. There is no way that China should be allowed to hold the world captive, but that seems to have been their plan for quite a while, starting with magnets and other elements that they have been quietly amassing into somewhat of a monopoly position, right? He's saying that it's sinister and hostile to say the least, but the US has monopoly positions of their own. So he's saying that we have monopoly positions and that we have not chosen to use them until now. Then he went on about how he wants to speak with President Xi. He wants to basically meet up with him in 2 weeks. And then he went over other things, which I'm not going to go over the full details about. Then he started to talk about how, with what's happening right now, he's now talking about an increase of tariffs on Chinese products coming to the USA. And there have been many other countermeasures like that under serious consideration. So that's some big news, right? This is very serious because you have to remember that a lot of companies like Tesla depend on these minerals. A lot of tech companies depend on them. Millions of Americans are also going to be affected to some extent because if this truly happens as China starts imposing more export controls on the production mechanisms and the mining process of these minerals, if they start charging countries more and restricting things a lot, President Trump is obviously not happy about that. And if he ends up increasing tariffs on China, like by a larger extent as a countermeasure, like I said before, it's going to be affecting a lot of goods. It's going to be affecting Americans' lives. It's going to be affecting a lot of different things, lots of different companies. And that's why the stock market's taking a hit right now. SPY went from 673 as he predicted, holding up near all-time highs, only to get a massive rug pull back down to 660. If 660 breaks on SPY, we could be dipping to 658 to 655. So be very careful. The 4-hour is showing some weakness now. The QQQ, same thing, massive rejection. Unless we get back above 603, we're going to see if we could hold 596. If not, we're looking for 595. And SPY is going to continue to fall to 658. For Tesla, we're dumping. We're tanking like a rock, making lower highs. We're going to see if this support holds around 416. If it doesn't, we could be dipping all the way down towards 410 or below. So be very careful and see if 416 holds. We need to reclaim at least 425 for there to be some kind of meaningful bounce. If not, we're going to likely continue to favor downside. SPY, once again, is not holding 662 nicely. It's kind of testing that right now. If it doesn't hold, we have 658 and 655 coming. The QQQ could also be dipping back down once again towards 595 and then eventually 592 if that fails us. The IWM is also rejecting, could be dipping back down towards 238 if we don't hold 240. ES has support at 66.67. We're going to see if that holds or not. Otherwise, we're going to likely continue to fall. NQ's support is currently around 24,750. If that breaks, I would not rule out 24,650 or below. Then we'll see if we bounce. Bitcoin could be dipping to about 118,500. If that fails us, we have 116,900 next. Tesla's once again dipping. Nvidia is also dipping. We're going to see if we can hold 185 or not. That's going to be our main support. So watch that very closely. We have resistance at 189. That's our range. We'll see if we could bounce above that. Apple's looking more bearish. We need to get back above 250 and 253. If not, we could be dipping to 245. So we're below 250, so 245 is possible. Palantir could be dipping to 177 again. AMD is rejecting, could be dipping to about 215. We need to hold this. If not, we could be dipping towards like 208. So we have to see if 215 holds. Coinbase has support at 361. We'll see if it holds or not. Amazon's rejecting. We have support right here all the way down towards 220 and then 216. And Meta is rejecting. We have to see if 710 holds. If not, we could be dipping to 705. Google could be dipping to about 238. And then Microsoft could be dipping to about 512. We're going to see if support holds. And then Oracle has support at 290. We're going to see if that holds. The VIX is also breaking out right now. We're going to see how well it holds above the 21s and if the market could hold support or not. So be careful. We'll see if support holds. If it does, if SPY could close above 660, there's hope for a bounce. Tesla also needs to hold above 425. We'll see if we can hold above that or not. We might try to get close to it, but overall, there's still weakness. So be very careful, guys. It's a tricky market, and these new claims by President Trump is causing a lot of volatility. So be very, very careful, and we'll see what happens from this point on. Thank you all for listening. Please have a good rest of your guys' days, and peace out.